Hi. Good afternoon, viewers. As you know, this is your host, Grace Ngumi, on eBook Joint. For those of you who know about eBook Joint, it's a part of pendazi.com, where we bring you live. We are able to interview authors from all over, diverse authors, not just Kenyans, diverse authors from different cultures, because we need to hear different topics and different views from different authors. And so today I'm here live from Nairobi, Kenya. That's where I'm recording this interview. I'm so delighted because I've been able to meet different authors and I've been able to interview. For those of you who've been following eBook Joint, I was able to interview a couple of authors, 7 authors for the first season, 6 authors for the second season, and this is going to be a launch of our 3rd season. My hope and my goal is to be able to interview about 10 authors in this season. So I'm so delighted because I'm going to be opening this season with one of a very renowned author from here in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm going to introduce him in a minute. And as I usually say, the goal of eBook Joint is to bring authors who are diverse in different areas and connect them with the readers who are coming from different areas. Especially us here in back in the US, we don't have the privilege of interacting with different authors from different places. We do have a very large pool of authors, Americans, different cultures, but our own authors as Kenyans, we are not able to connect with them. Authors from Africa, authors from other countries. And so for me, my goal at pendazi.com on eBook Joint is to be able to connect the authors and their people who can read their books. And so I'm delighted today to be able to be launched this season, and I'm launching it in Kenya, and I'm so delighted. So today I'm here with Alexander Nderitu, and he's a very renowned author here in Kenya. I'm going to be reading his biography in a minute. As I say here in eBook Joint, it's one thing to get a book, it's another thing to have it in your house, but it's another thing to read it. And so I usually encourage my viewers to be able to go get your book, get that book, buy it from Amazon. The author that I have here today, all his books, they are also on Amazon. So if you're in US, you're in UK, wherever you are in diaspora, you can get a book and be able to read it. You can get his books and be able to read them. And so today I'm going to introduce you to Alexander Nderitu. We're going to be having a conversation. He has authored, he's a different type of genre author, and he has authored more than 10 books. And so we're going to be talking about his work, and he's here. So welcome, Alexander Nderitu.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure to be able to have you here on this show. As you've heard, eBook Joint is where we connect authors, and we connect them with people who are out there who don't know who Alexander Nderitu is. They can put a face on the author, and they can be able to connect with you and be able to read your book from where we come from. So today, as I read your biography, so Alexander Nderitu is a Kenyan poet, novelist, and a playwright, and also a critic. Some of his work has been translated into Arab, Japanese, Chinese, Swahili, French, Swedish, Duruo, Gikuyu, and Sesh. His poems have appeared in the East African Standard Kenya, at My Africa, My City, and the World Poetry Yearbook in China, among other publications. So his narrative poem, Someone in Africa Loves You, was broadcast on BBC Scotland during the 2014 Commonwealth Games and has since been translated to 4 languages. So as you've heard, I'm not going to read his biography. If you get his books, his biography is there. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to introduce him as a playwright, a novelist, a poet, a critic. Soon he's going to tell us what kind of a genre he writes and what kind of books he has authored. He's going to introduce some of the titles of his books, but that's who Alexander Nderitu is. So Alex, let me ask you, when did you start writing books?
I've always dreamed to be a writer. I decided I was going to be an author when I was 16 years old, and in Form 2, that's when I set my mind on being an author. My essays my English essays and even Kiswahili essays were very, they earned good grades. The English essays would be read out to the rest of the class, and I just realized, and I was a very avid reader, so I decided I was going to be a writer.
Okay.
So I was determined. And so the first book I wrote was a novel called When the Whirlwind Passes.
Okay.
I completed it when I was 19 years old,
Okay.
The manuscript.
Yeah.
And then later I would put it online
Okay.
in ebook format
Yeah.
when I was 21.
Okay.
And that was in the year 2001,
Okay.
which made it the continent's first purely digital novel.
Wow.
And several factors informed that decision, including it was very hard to get published in those days.
Okay.
That was towards the end of the last century.
Yeah.
Because I tried to look, as a young man, I tried to look up contacts for publishers in the yellow pages. The internet was in its infancy.
Okay.
Back then you had yellow pages. If you wanted someone's number,
Yeah.
or a company or whatever, you'd have a big book by the telephone, and you'd literally flip pages looking for contacts of these businesses.
Okay.
I tried to look up publishers, and in the yellow pages there were like 5, and they were all of them were focusing on curriculum material,
Okay.
school textbooks.
Yeah.
And mine was a novel. In fact, it was a crime novel, and that wasn't what the kind of material that I'd be interested in.
Okay.
But ebooks had started to emerge, and the internet had, was starting to take hold. And so I turned that first manuscript into an ebook. So it's called When the Whirlwind Passes.
Okay.
Initially, it existed only in ebook format.
Yeah.
Various sites, ebook mall, Amazon. By the time it came out, actually it came out even before the Amazon Kindle was invented.
Oh.
So it was used to be on another site called ebook mall. It was on print on demand. Now it's available in paperback as well.
Okay.
So that was my first book, and I was 22 years old at the time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So as you've had, congratulations. I know that's a while back. You've been in this field for a while. I was able to read that book while the whirlwind passes. It's a prayer light. So it's interesting to be able to talk about what you do. So you do have different genres that you do write about. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit? I know you do poetry. This book that I'm holding right here, it is your latest book. King Bure is Dead. So that's your latest book. Have you launched it?
Not yet. Well, it's out.
It's out.
It's
okay.
out, but I haven't done a book launch yet.
Yeah.
In fact, it's out today.
Oh,
so these are the first copies from the printer, and it's and there are some which are already available on Nuria. That's nuriakenya.com.
Okay.
Those are the first copies out. I've just signed the first 2 autographs today.
Okay.
So at some point, we'll probably do a book launch.
Okay.
So this is poetry,
Okay.
and like I said, my first book was a novel.
Okay.
And as you announced, I also do plays, and I do some other types of writing, including I'm a critic, so I do articles and things of that nature, papers,
Okay.
which are quasi academic.
Academic, yeah.
And it's I've no conscious desire to genre hop. It just happened that way.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I love novels, and I always wanted to be a novelist.
Yeah.
So that was always going to happen, and I've got more novels and short stories in the works. Some will come out this year, some next year.
Okay.
That are already works in progress. These works in progress include novels, short stories,
Yeah.
plays, as well as some critiques. Most of the critiques revolve around theatre.
Yeah.
Now, regarding the genre hopping,
Okay.
I found out, so like I said, I was going to be, my ambition was to be a novelist, like
yeah.
Ian Fleming and Robert Ludlum, all these people, Frederick Forsyth. I used to admire them at their books. I wanted to be a novelist. Then, when I was about 18 years old, my sister, who is a poet herself, when she was in high school, they had done Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare.
Okay.
So she had a copy of it, and she told me that, Alex, do you know that you were born on the same day as William Shakespeare?
Oh.
In fact, she said, isn't your birthday April 23rd? I said, yeah. She said, do you know you're born the same day as William Shakespeare?
Yeah.
I had no idea, but funny enough, I loved poetry.
Yeah.
So I didn't even choose to genre hop. I think it was just in me. So I do write poems, not just because of the Shakespeare connection, although that was a very good surprise.
Yeah.
But so I don't do it consciously. But I write poems very slowly as compared to prose.
Okay.
I write prose. I probably write more words than I speak. Unless I'm in an interview like this one.
Yeah.
I'm not a talkative person.
Okay.
But I'm always writing.
Yeah.
So as it happened, I love plays.
Okay.
So and I also, in addition to writing in different genres, I also read in different genres.
Oh, okay.
I've got poetry, plays, prose, non-fiction. I'm always reading the newspapers and cutting out things that inspire me.
Yeah.
Usually current events, like now it would be what is happening in quote unquote Francophone Africa, Niger, and those countries around there, Mali, the problems with the French government and French forces. So those kind of things, I use them as inspiration to write stories. So they are all my works, even the poetry. Yeah. And I read a lot of. Someone told me I would if I wasn't a writer, I'd be a comedian because there's a lot of humor in my work. But all of my stuff is grounded in actual happenings in the real world.
In the real world. Yes, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for that answer about the genre that you're in. I know most of my viewers have seen me interview people from different genre, and I thought it would be good. I haven't interviewed a poet. I haven't interviewed a playwright. And you have added that to my addition of being able to interview that.
I'm all of those combined.
You're all that combined, yes. So that really makes it a delight that I was able to interview. You brought everything that I was looking for. I was looking for a poet, I was looking for a playwright, and so you brought everything that I was looking for. And just that the fact that you are very renowned is just an addition to it. The other thing that I wanted to, what would you tell someone who's caught in between deciding what genre they want to write in? What really inspired you to choose those kind of genre, like being a poet? I know sometimes it's a passion, it's also a passion, but what are some of the things that really tell someone you can be a good poet?
Yeah, no, on the subject of choosing your genre, I think the most direct answer would be to write the kind of material that you enjoy reading. Yes, okay. Because those two things go hand in hand. And any author you ask about, or publisher you ask about, how can I be a writer and so forth, like what are some of the basics, the most natural foundation for that. They all tell you to read a lot and so forth. Yeah. You gotta read. So, and I myself write like for example, when I'm writing novels, I write the kind of stories that I enjoy reading and watching. For example, I love thrillers. Okay. Thrillers are stories about dangerous events. Yeah. And I love especially thriller espionage. Yes. And earlier I mentioned people like Ian Fleming and Frederick Forsyth, Robert Ludlum, all those who write thriller espionage. I loved reading those books, like Cold War stuff. When I was back in the Cold War ended in around '89. Yes. So by that time there were a lot of books about the Cold War, USSR and versus the West and these kind of things, and it was a very good canvas for writers. Yes. That's when a lot of people like James Bond came out of that environment, and he was the most popular character in all of fiction until Harry Potter came around. So those kind of works were very popular. The crime genre in general, it's very rich. There's so much you can do with a crime novel. It can take place anywhere. It can involve all kinds of situations. Yes. It's very broad because some genres are tighter than others, like it's a romance and so forth. There's certain expectations, but crime is quite open, So I write the kind of books that I love to read. Yes. And this cuts across all my writing. For example, when I wrote the book on Wangari, I wrote a whole stage play on Wangari Maathai. Yes. Who was the first African woman to win the Nobel Prize, and she was Nobel Peace Prize, and she was known for two things, which was conservation,
Yes.
and then also as an activist for human rights and gender and that kind of thing.
Yes.
She was a very well-known activist.
Okay.
Now, interestingly enough, I was going to, this is the actual play I came out with.
Okay.
Two things. First of all, it was never supposed to be a book,
Yes.
but you do have it in prose.
Okay.
It became a book because when I finished writing the play,
Yes.
after 3 years, doing a lot of research to write this book on Wangari Maathai,
Okay.
a lot of research. Just when I finished, I think it finished around the end of 2019.
Okay.
And then 2020, COVID hit,
Yes.
and there were no plays, nothing could be done. And I had the play, what you call the book in the theatre world,
Okay.
and it couldn't be staged, so I turned it into a book. But initially it was not supposed to be sold as a book. It was supposed to be on stage.
On stage, yeah.
Then the other thing about this book, which relates to choosing a genre, is
Yeah.
I am a theatre critic,
Okay.
and I wrote a paper some time ago asking how come in Kenya there have been some small plays, some stuff done in schools about Wangari Maathai and so forth, but no major play. And at the time of her death, she was Kenya's most renowned woman, bar none. She was even more famous internationally than what was considered her enemy, who was President Moi. She was more popular than him abroad.
Yes.
And we didn't have a play about her. And so I wrote a paper called Kenyan Theatre, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And inside there I was asking, how come we don't have a major play about her? Actually, in particular, I mentioned a musical.
Yes.
Because there's a musical about Winnie Mandela and other people, Fela Kuti and others. And then someone challenged me, who's a friend of mine who's in theatre, he's an actor and producer, told me, hey, Alex, why don't you write the book? Why don't you write the play and I'll produce it?
Yes.
So I ended up writing the play that I initially just wanted to read.
Oh, okay.
Or rather to watch.
Yes.
So I ended up writing it. So I think you should write, if you're going to write, choose a genre.
Yes.
I think you should choose a genre that you enjoy reading or watching. If you watch a lot of series and that kind of thing, if you like romances, I think you should write something in that area.
Yes.
to make things much easier, because writing in general is not easy.
It's not easy. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for that answer. It concludes what we usually say on this program, is that, you write what you're passionate about. Like if you're choosing a genre, choose something that you're passionate about. Being able to connect with it, you have to be able to connect with the genre. You have to be able to connect with the audience. You have to be able to connect with what you're writing about. So it's a passion for you to write, but it's also, it takes one step for you to familiarize yourself with whatever you're talking about or what you're writing about. And so as our friend Alex told us today, is that you have to be familiar with what you're writing about. I'm so delighted that he was able to introduce his book. He's also a playwright, so he writes plays, and he was able to introduce the book about Wangari Maathai. Do you have any other books you've written about playwright, and has any of them translated to any plays or any acting?
Absolutely. The first play I wrote, and this was it was following a call out by a group called the Theatre Company,
Okay.
which is led by Keith Pearson.
Okay.
So they had a call out for plays, but not a short plays. It was supposed to be 15 minutes total.
Okay.
And not at 4 plays, and then they would do them all together.
Okay.
So it was a competition.
Yeah.
So I wrote a play called Hannah and the Angel, because I got some ideas, and I love hip hop.
Okay.
I love rap music. I like hip hop culture.
Yeah.
So I wrote a play that took place was set mostly in a church, and there was some people involved in some hip hop musicians. It was called Hannah and the Angel. It's a comedy. Most of my plays are comedy. I think it's only one. Well, there's one which is a romance. All the others are all comedies. So it was called Hannah and the Angel, and it was one of the winners. It was very short. It was like 10-15 minutes. So it was one of the 4 winners, and they were staged. The Keith Pearson at the time was collaborating with a group called Fire by 10, a group of actors. So they staged it at Phoenix Theatre.
Yes.
which no longer exists, by the way. Phoenix Theatre went out of business some years ago. It was so exciting. I was still in my 20s.
Okay.
It was so exciting to see my work on stage,
Yes.
and all these like really accomplished actors. They translated that, and it was also a good experience because you start to see your work through other people's eyes.
Yes.
And that happens also in the literary world. You put a book out there, and when you get the reviews, you realize people see your work differently, or they thought it was going to go in a different direction, or they ask you questions that you hadn't even realized because it was some stuff will be below the surface. So it's very interesting to see other people's interpretation or view of your work. So Hannah and the Angel was the very first. Later I expanded it. It was a very short play initially.
Okay.
So later I expanded it. No, it's 1.5 hours long. In fact, it was going to be 3 hours long. So what I did is I divided it into 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So the first part is out. It's available on Amazon. It's called Angels Are Us.
Okay.
Hannah and the Angel, part 1. Angels Are Us.
Okay.
So that's already out on Amazon. I continued writing plays like with poetry. I write plays slowly. So there's no rush. It's like you're trying to paint a masterpiece. It's not about how fast you can do it.
Yeah.
Because I've also worked in journalism, and that time you work with deadlines. So you got to do whether it's good or bad. You got certain deadline. The work is. But when you're trying to create some work of art,
Yeah.
You don't want to be rushed. So I do have some other plays. The Stacey Walker Interview is a romance. It's my only romance. Then there is one called Yappies, which is a comedy. It's an office-based comedy. There's another one called What's Wrong with This Picture, which is it's about the filmmaking business. It's also a comedy.
Okay.
And the Stacey Walker Interview was actually performed earlier this year.
Oh, it was.
Earlier,
okay.
it was performed earlier this year
Okay.
in Nyeri at Showtime Cinema. So that was a good experience. Later, we might put Yappies, with the office-based comedy, on later this year.
Okay.
But also be on stage. And of course, I'm also working. Like I mentioned, Spy Stories. I've got a collection of short stories called Kiss Commander Promise.
Yes.
And so I want to I like the characters.
Oh, okay.
Most of my characters are not like me.
Yeah.
Like for example, they always say, for example, I don't smoke.
Yeah.
But the characters, like the spy characters, they're always smoking. I don't like those guys.
Okay.
They're nothing like me. So Kiss Commander Promise is the only story. Because people ask that, like if you've got a main character, like if it's a man and he's maybe he's in the army.
Yes.
People ask, oh, is it based on you? Do you have a military experience? I'm a writer, because
you have to come
I've
with
got so many.
fiction.
I write like in Disco Matanko, which is a collection of short stories.
Yes.
I think half the stories are written from the point of view of women.
Yes.
So and I'm not a woman. So obviously there's a difference between the writer and the persona.
Yes.
The characters in poetry call them personas.
Yes.
So you've read in fact, in my first poetry book,
Yes.
there are poems written from the point of view of animals. Like it's an elephant talking. So and I'm obviously not an elephant.
Yeah.
The weight alone disqualifies me. So these are just personas. So it's just like, so that's don't confuse the author and the persona.
And the persona in the book.
Or in the case of the novel, the author and the character.
Yes.
But in Kiss Commander Promise, it's the only story where it's about me and it's about 3 spies.
Yes.
The two men and a lady,
Okay.
and they were childhood friends.
Yes.
They went in the same primary school, and then they ended up working for the same spy agency, which is simply called the Bureau.
Okay.
So it's based on my childhood. And even the title, Kiss Commander Promise, is from a childhood game I used to play. I don't know if you've played that in Kenya. Yeah, it's a game called Kiss Commander Promise. It's I think in the US it's called Truth or Dare, something like that.
Yes.
So I liked the characters, I liked the story, so I decided to expand it. So it's going to be a play as well.
Play.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I think my viewers, if we were going to talk about in details or go into details of Alex's book, we're going to be here for 2 days. So it's really not viable to interview and talk about all his books, because he has authored so many books, and he has a wide view of so many stories, so many poems, so many novels, fiction stories. Disco Matanga that he just mentioned with, I think that's the one that I was able to read. It's a short story, and I love everything about that book. So I encourage you. I usually tell my viewers, and I tell you all the time, that we cannot talk about these books because we want you to be able to go and read, get a book for yourself and read it for yourself. Because we're here, it takes a lot of time to write books. It takes a lot of energy to be able to write those books. So my friends, I usually tell you, if you want to read this book, you have to go and get it where you can get it. As I said, I was able to buy my books. I was able to buy 3 of his books from Amazon. And so all of them are on Amazon. If you're in US, you can buy them from Amazon. I'm gonna be sharing the link. It's gonna be on the YouTube channel, on the comments. So you can be able to go there and click it and get those books from Amazon and buy them and read them for yourself. That's why we don't wanna be able to go into details talking about the books. I wanna be able, I can also put his number there. I can put, if you're in Kenya, I can put Nuria bookstore number there on the links, and you can be able to click it and be able to get the books, because we are all about promoting our authors. Because it's one thing to write a book, as Alex can tell us, it's one thing to write a book, but it's another thing to get people, an audience, to be able to read it. And that's why I'm here, to be able to get you as my audience to discover who Alex is and what kind of work he has done, and be able to connect with him. As we continue to wind up, I want to be able to ask Alex a few things. I know this book he just mentioned, it's King Bure is Dead. It's a poem, a collection of poems. And he mentioned to me that it's his latest book. He also does self-publishing. So I want him to tell us a little bit about self-publishing and how you can go about it here if you're here in Kenya. And also, as you said, he said that he was able to use AI. He said that his first book, he was the first person to be able to do a digital copy of a book, so an ebook, and that was in 2000. And now he's introducing an AI cover of his book. So Alex, can you tell us a little bit about self-publishing in just a few words, and then we can go from there?
Yes. Now, the publishing process, not just in this part of the world, but in the world generally, can be quite tedious and heartbreaking.
Yes.
In fact, the number of large publishers has been reducing as things become more and more digital. So it's very hard for people to get published, and increasingly, aspiring writers, even established ones, are turning to self-publishing.
Yes.
In any case, that has been made easier and more lucrative by digital technology and online stores and digital publishing methods.
Yes.
In fact, it's because of digital publishing that we now have the option of print on demand,
yes.
Which is a process where if you see a book, or like on Amazon, for example,
yes.
There's only the option of getting a physical copy of that. So yes, you can get the Kindle version or the print on demand version.
Okay.
And so a lot of people opting for self-publishing also puts you, we call them take charge authors, because it puts you right at the helm of your own publishing output.
Okay.
So locally here in Kenya, there are several companies and individuals who help others put them together, including me. Initially, I didn't want to work on other people's books because I'm an author myself. Okay. So we'd always recommend other people, other companies. But eventually, I actually decided to do it, especially after a client was disappointed by someone I recommended. Okay. I said, oh, okay, I'll just do it myself. So I also do those services under Websoft Interactive. Okay. So and we help people self-publish books in in any genre. Okay. And yes, because even when it comes to distribution, we now have stores, online and offline,
Okay.
that help with that. And then there are marketing methods, and that includes various things like book launches and that kind of thing, and contacting the media.
Okay.
Also getting things like reviews,
Yes.
things of that nature.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's much easier to self-publish now.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for that short answer. Yes, it's easier to self-publish. I think sometimes, working with a bigger company, sometimes it's frustrating. It can be costly, but being able to self-publish, you can come up with your own topic, you can come up with your book. And do you help people? Can I refer some people who want to self-publish here in Kenya? Can you direct them? And if that, are you open to do it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We work on the entire process, right from manuscript evaluation and the editing, all the way through to the printing and even marketing after that.
Okay. So you've had it. Alex is willing to work with you if you're looking to self-publish, if you're looking to have someone guide you on how to self-publish, how to put your book on Amazon, how to get it out there to the audience. Alex is willing to do it. As we come to a conclusion of our interview, I wanted to say thank you so much, Alex, for taking the time to be here. I don't take it for granted. I say it's grateful, and I'm grateful for it. You are busy. As I can tell, writing a book. I've tried to write mine. I usually tell my audience that I started mine and I'm almost done. But once I get to finish it, I'll finish it. So I know it's not easy. It's not easy to write all these books. It's not easy to get all those fiction, characters and put them in a book and write about them. It's not an easy thing, but you have done it, and I'm so glad that you were able to come, leave that behind and be able to come do this interview. I really don't take it for granted. I'm sure we're going to be doing more and more of interviews and interacting. Even as I go back to the US, I'll keep in contact so that way you can guide if I need someone to be guided, or even myself, I think I'll publish my book here. It's a little bit cost effective. So we'll keep in touch. I wanted to give you a few seconds. Can you tell our viewers something about yourself that you would want them to know? I know we did talk about you're a writer, you're everything, but what else would you want our viewers to know about you?
Well, there are two interesting things about me. First of all, is that I'm somehow ended up being a meme lord. That's a person who spreads out of memes online. Just so happened, I just think it's a very effective way to communicate. And the second one, just as important, is that I'm one of the 10% of people in the world who can wiggle their ears.
Oh,
Yes.
That's a good one. I think next time you're gonna wiggle your ears.
I actually have videos on TikTok where I'm wiggling my
Oh, you're on TikTok. Okay.
Yes. Other than that, if you'd like to get a hold of any of my books, I'm very easy to find on the internet. Like I said, I've been writing since 2001 actually. So I've been there for 20 years with a lot of material about online.
Okay.
My website is alexandernderitu.com, and my books on Amazon, on nuriakenya.com, and even Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble, yes.
Yeah. So I'm pretty easy to find online if you just search my name.
Okay. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to say thank you again. So as you've heard, my viewers, is that Alex Nderitu, you can find him on pretty much Amazon. I was able to find him on Amazon, on Facebook, same name. You just search his name and he's gonna come up. You can interact with him. He was very easy to interact with. So I'm so delighted, and thank you so much, Alex, again. So as we come to the conclusion of this session and ebook joint, I usually say that, you know what, don't just get the books, read them, because we need to change the narrative that Africans are not readers. I know sometimes there's a saying they usually say that, if you want to hide money from an African, you can hide it in a book, because we don't open books to read. We have to change that narrative, because we are readers and we can read books. We can connect with those topics that Alex have said. He has tried to address so many things that are going on. And when you read that book, you can find a solution in a book, hidden in a book. So if you take your time to read a book, that will give you a solution. So as we come to a conclusion of this session, I wanted to say thank you so much. Thank you to my fans. Thank you to my supporters, everyone who supports ebook Joint. Continue subscribing to our YouTube channel. Continue following us on ebook Joint. There's a group that we do connect with our audience. You can join that group, and also you can follow us on Facebook. Like our page on pendazi.com. We do have various, and we're going to have many more authors coming this session. So thank you so much. This season of ebook Joint, our target, as we said, we're going to do 10 authors. So this is the first one. I'm looking forward to the other 9. Thank you.